I'm Maddie.
I'm Allie.
And I'm Kiki.
And
MAK is back.
So today we're going to talk about our actual meet and greet experience with Big Time Rush. How was your guys' pre-meet and greet? Like, what did you envision it going like in your head?
I figured it would have been crazier than what it was. Just because of how you get really nervous and excited when it's your first time meeting somebody like that. I will say, I hate to say it like this way, I don't show every emotion, so I feel like I was like super like face majority of it. But
like the waiting in line experience for you.
Waiting in line, I was dying in line. It was so hot. You got excited the closer you got.
I feel like I had talked myself up as I was like, I'm going to be fine. It's not going to be bad. It's just going to be like, I'm just meeting a normal person. Like, they're people. Like, they're humans.
I was the total opposite.
And I'll tell you, as I got closer, I was like, oh my fucking God. Like, we're going to actually meet them. Like, what the hell?
So, I literally felt like I was going to piss my pants the entire time we were online. Like, I was
have such a small bladder.
So scared.
Side note.
I do. But I was so scared. I literally was so, like, nervous, and I don't know why. Like, it's like, I know they weren't gonna, like, kill me, but I was scared.
She would have let it happen, though.
Yes. The funny part was,
you were the most nervous.
I was the most nervous.
She was the most nervous, but also, like, when you walk in the building, that you have, like, obviously you have your VIP host or whatever, so you have, like, a couple people you go through, and there is, like, a sheet. It looks like curtains. It is a literal sheet,
like
and then the boys are right there. The boys are, like, right in front of the screen.
And we seen Kendall's head, and I was like, oh my God!
And I didn't see it. I didn't see it, and all I saw, like, because Kiki was freaking out. She was like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna vomit! Like, I'm gonna piss myself."
We were standing behind the screen, and I'm like, I'm so fucking nervous. I'm gonna piss my pants.
And she's like, "Why are you scared?" And you're like, "I don't know. I'm just scared." And then I see Carlos, like it was so funny because the thing is we're so loud that there's no way they didn't hear us the entire time.
Everybody was.
And I see Carlos's head pop around the screen, and I immediately started shitting. I was like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna die!" Because I was like, "Oh, holy fuck!" They're like right there.
And Maddie's
like,
just like vibing.
Yeah, she was calm.
Listen, I was so calm because I was like, I'm not gonna act. I'm gonna go in with the mentality that these are normal people that if I was like walking along the road to have a conversation with, I don't do that, but that's how I treated it. I will say these two freaked out about line positions.
I couldn't help it because I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be all right."
Well, they kept switching who was gonna be in front
because she wanted to go first, and then she started panicking. And you should have went first. You should have went.
I was going to, and then it was kind of like boom, 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 because you guys started really freaking out. I'm like, I will go first.
We really lined it up perfect, though, because it was...
I don't think so.
Carlos, Logan, James, Kendall. So Allie went first, so she went with Kendall.
Well, hold on,
because so I went with James. And then Maddie went with Logan.
Like, when we went in there, though, like, I started freaking... Like, once I saw Carlos, I freaked out. And I was like, holy shit, because we kept switching. Because Kiki was like, I'm going first, which is fine. Like, go ahead. And I got in there, and it was like by the time we were arguing, because Maddie was like sitting there, Kiara's like freaking the fuck out, and by the time we were to get in there, it was like the girl's like, okay, it's your turn, and I'm like, no, we're not ready, like send us back, we're not ready. And I walk in there, and they're just staring at me, like dead staring at me, and they're like,
meanwhile,
hi, how are you? And I was like,
meanwhile, I am like trying to follow behind, right?
Kind of. Totally.
And I tripped.
That was hilarious.
And almost busted my ass.
But, like, I walked in there first, and I'm like, I don't, like, they looked at me like puppy dogs. Like, hi, how are you? And mind you, they're beautiful. And I was like,
I love them.
Okay. I'm like, I don't know what to do with my hands. Like, can I touch you? Can I not? I was like, I'm sorry. I'm so nervous right now. Like, I literally said that. And Logan and Carlos just laughed, and I was like, I'm so fucking nervous, I don't even know what to say. And then you guys took forever. They took, like, I swear it felt like 10 years before they got around the screen, because I could hear Kiki and Maddie, I was like, is this like my own personal meet and greet? The boys are like staring at me like, where's the rest of them? And I'm
It was
like
like a haunted house.
I'm like, I don't know. Like, why did I get scared
And
first?
then
We weren't that far behind you though. 'Cause
You
we were
took
talking
forever.
No, we were talking to Carlos,
Yes.
and you like shot down the Kindle. You
Yes.
were mine.
Yeah, that's the other thing I would say, because I did freeze up. Frank moved me down, so like I didn't really get to talk to like Carlos and Logan. Which was, I did show Logan my shirt, so I did backtrack a bit. When they actually did come out, I felt a little bit more comfortable. And my shirt had drip drop on the back, and I was like, hey! Like, look!
So then, she says, she was talking to Logan, right? Me and Maddie then come in, and I give Carlos a hug.
I didn't get that experience.
And
he gives really good.
I was like,
No,
hi. Like, I walked in, and I was so scared. I was like, hi. And like, I gave him a hug, and then he just looks at me, he's like, I like your shirt, da-da-da. And then I finally felt like I calmed down for a second. And I was like, oh my God, like, look at the back of my shirt. Because it said, Carlos is my daddy, #zaddy. So, like, I turned around and Carlos moves my hair, like, with his hand. And I was like, holy shit. Like, fuck. And he was like, reading it. And he's like, and him and Logan both read it. And they go, Zaddy. And then Carlos pulls me in by my waist and gives me another hug. And I was like,
I didn't get that experience, and I'm so upset. Because I got pushed down to James.
okay,
I am not
it's
going
your turn.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Maddie, how was your experience with Carlos?
It was really good. He's so sweet, and they put him up front for a reason. He gives off that dad energy, like
He was very
Just,
relaxing
you
to
know.
look at.
for the 2 seconds we looked at him.
I was the puppy dog, like, hi! And I was like,
Sit.
hi!
Chill.
Hi! Like, you're
You
so
know.
pretty.
But backtracking just a little bit, with us having to have a group, decide who's going where.
Like,
She's
5
going
years
first.
before you go.
Because they don't give you a whole lot of time to get situated. Like,
Besides the whole 2 hours you waiting.
I realistically should have been in between Logan and Carlos, and you should have been in between James and Logan.
Allie and
But,
Kendall was on their own.
Yeah, we really were.
But we didn't have enough room, and I was like in the middle of talking to Logan and kind of got shoved beside Kiki, which isn't bad, but just plan that out.
So then when I get to Logan, okay, wait,
hold on real quick. I'm backtracking. Pick who your guy is. Please pick who your guy is. Because if not, they will pick one for you.
don't.
And
okay,
your
pick
friend
it.
is going to, you guys are going to fight about it. Like, we didn't, but like, I'm like.
But we got who we wanted.
Yeah.
So when I got to Logan, which like Logan's, don't know, like I'm a James girly, but like Logan's there, and I don't know how to feel sometimes. Anyway, so I get to Logan. And because I just did the whole, like, Carlos hug me, I get to Logan, and he's like, hi, babe. And I was like, and then he, like, pulls me in, and he, like, whispered in my ear, like, how was your day, beautiful? And I was like,
This man's right here. This man's.
I was like, no, go back, because I'm scared right now, because I should not be feeling this way over a freaking guy.
But yeah, definitely if it's a group, pick who you want to stand by and make sure there's no arguments.
Yes.
It worked out because we had already, like, I'm a Logan person. Allie, if you've seen the photos, her and Kendall look like that awkward couple that you hate at homecoming. It's the first homecoming photos, and you're like, what did you do for that?
Let me say this though about Logan and Carlos. So I didn't get like a whole lot, but I will tell you, I don't remember anything. I was so starstruck. I don't fucking remember, and I'm so upset about it. And I do remember them saying stuff to me, but like I was so starstruck. I don't know. And also Logan is coming in hot. I don't know why he's trying to make people switch sides. He's trying to make people switch sides, and I feel like I'm an all worldwide girl because I can't pick. I love Kendall, but Logan, honey.
But let's side note from this real quick. We had a funny conversation. Like, if we were to get picked, we had, like, I think it was you and Allie, had been like, this is who's going to pick us if we got picked. And I don't remember who you said for who. But
Allie said James would probably pick me because he does more blondes.
Yes. And I feel like Carlos would pick Maddie because Carlos goes more towards, like
curly hair.
Curly hair. I feel like Logan would go more towards me because he typically picks somebody, I feel like, with darker hair, doesn't he?
I feel like...
And Kendall, nobody knows because he's a wild card, so I don't know what to tell you.
And then I was fully expecting Allie to have a whole tantrum at South Carolina because of how close we were, and for them to not.
I'm just upset. Like, I don't feel like anybody understands. And then the post-concert depression is so freaking real because I so bad wanted to go to... I wanted to go to more.
I tried, but it was also real expensive.
It was bad.
Okay, let's keep going with our meet and greet experience. Maddie, how was you and Logan?
He's such a sweetheart. God love him.
He's
really
funny.
good.
He's so funny.
He's really good at breaking the ice. Him and Carlos, and once again, I think that's why they're at the front because
I feel like they're
off the wall stuff,
really.
and you're like, oh, okay.
It catches you off guard because you expect them to be so like calm and collected because Carlos is very like professional, but in person, I don't know. He was a little like zesty. I feel like
He said zaddy, and I was like,
that broke the ice. 100% broke the ice.
That's a big thing too. I think having an icebreaker, like somebody's got to do it. Either it's going to be them or it's going to be you. But whoever is in front, if the band hasn't broken the ice, you have to. So it's a good experience for you and the rest of your group.
mm-hmm.
I also feel like it is important that Carlos and Logan are in front because James is so hot that like you would freeze up immediately.
Carlos and Logan.
No, I mean, no,
James
they're all
looks
beautiful.
like a fucking Kindle. Like, James
He does.
looks like I went to the fucking Barbie world and just was like, bink.
Pause. Carlos stands to pony. I'm sorry. None of them
Okay,
can
hold
beat
on,
that.
hold on. They're all attractive.
They are, but
All hot. They're so
really-
sexy, all of them. And they all have really good looking eyes and teeth, may I add.
That's a big thing.
It's a big thing. But James, it's just, I think it's the height thing. I think it's because he's tall and he's so pretty.
Tall, dark, and handsome. Like
He really is, but if you stare and if you look in this man's eyes, it's like you can't like unlock your eyes from him. It's so hard
it's
to.
the scariest
It's
shit
so
you've
it's
ever
so
done.
fucked up, and I'm like,
Okay, how was your experience with James?
So this is where timing is such a big thing because when I got to talk to Logan and Carlos, James and Kendall,
You didn't get to talk too much.
no, it was hugs and then they were rushing you out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's part of the reason I'm like, pick where you are going in line. Who do you want to talk to the most? Who would you like to talk to? But like, if you only get to hug them, you're
let
fine
me
with
let me
that.
add this though. Maddie was third in line,
I was second.
so I was first. Maddie was third. So as somebody who is the third person in, that's kind of her experience. So like, just kind of be aware of where you're at.
But so you and James didn't talk much? It was like a hi, how are you type thing?
Yeah, there was some conversation, but not like what we had with Carlos and Logan.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they do that on purpose because they get the first two out there, and the Logan and James. Well, my bad. James and Kendall are who you guys got to talk to the most. I got Carlos and Logan because I was on that second half,
Right.
split up, which is amazing. I love that. Don't have time to change poses with the pictures. What you are set in is what you are getting.
Mm-hmm.
So don't go in being like, oh, I'm gonna start with Logan and then I'm gonna switch to Kendall. You
You
have
can't
time.
do that. They
They
need to
like,
stay
go back
with one
black.
guy.
They literally just take two photos so that if you're blinking on one, like you still go to your photo.
Yeah.
How was your experience with James?
Okay, so because I got rushed from Carlitos and Logan, I got moved to James, and he was so sweet. He was so okay.
I don't know how to respond to that, but I think that's a compliment.
Respectfully.
He was wearing the cutest shirt, and he like stared at me, and he was like, "Hi, how are you?" And I was like, "I'm good. How are you?" And then we were talking about like my shirt because again, I customized shirts, and he was like, "How long did it take you? Did you make that? Did you buy it?" And he was, I actually got to have a conversation with James, and he like gave me like 2 hugs, and the first one, he was like, "Here, give me a hug," and he came down, and I'm like, I got makeup on, and I'm like, okay, you got this beautiful white shirt, let me just dodge over here. But I mean,
Dolphin dodge.
he was like, I feel like James was the most sincere with like talking, like with my like conversation with him. He was like so sincere, like wanted to know like whatever, was asking me questions and stuff. So I didn't feel like I had to like prompt questions for him.
Right.
And he was like actually interested in like what I was saying. Like I feel like if I didn't get rushed by Frank, James probably would have talked to me longer because he had a lot of stuff to say.
Kiki,
So I had a great experience.
James is your man.
So,
Respectfully, I will run you over.
I was talking to Logan, right? I'm getting ready, like, I'm like, just got out of his hug, and Frank, like, grabs my shoulders, and he's like, I'm gonna have you go to James, and I was like, it was so embarrassing. I was say less. And James starts laughing, and I was like, God, I fucked up already. I was like, you know how you look back at those moments in your life and you're like, that was fucking embarrassing?
But it was
I love how he said we were
everything
gonna
about
say
that was
fuck in this
embarrassing.
Well, I like that
video.
Yeah, I know.
But you know how it's just like embarrassing? You look back at something you did in your life and you're like, God.
I relive it. I'm a Pisces.
I'm
What do you
so
mean?
bad about it. So, after that, everything was fine. James was like laughing. He gave me a hug. He was like, how are you? Like, I love your shirt. How long did it take you guys to make those? And I was like, real long. He's like, yeah, I didn't really help. But I did. I did kind of help. I was sitting out there with you sometimes.
Well, a lot of the shirt making process, I know, was like one person at a time. So, you know.
It was a lot, and I had to find designs, but that's besides
But anyways,
it.
so he was asking about my shirt, and like he literally like was just like touching like right here, and I was just like grabbing him, and I was just looking at him. Like I didn't know what to say. I don't remember half the shit that came out of my mouth. All I remember is like Kendall and Allie were like all up in each other, and me and James like turned and laughed, and like he was like, "Is that your sister?" And I was like, "Yeah," and we were like laughing. We had a conversation, but like I was so like in his eyeballs.
Oh my God, he has beautiful eyes.
That I could not think straight. Like I couldn't think. Like when we were taking the picture, the fact that his hand was touching me.
I will say,
What?
He does.
it was
They all
the
have beautiful
fact that
eyes.
You
but...
ratted Allie out to get no one's
I know. What was
All
that?
right, tell your Kendall story because you had the most Kendall.
Okay, hold on. Go first. You go first, and then I'll add mine in the middle.
I didn't get to talk to Kendall. That's what I'm saying.
She had like the short.
James
I had
and
short time with
Collins.
Kendall. She had like the shortest time with Kendall.
Yeah.
I literally said 2 things to Kendall and left.
I got a hug from him, and then it was like
He was sweet. Like he did try to like say something.
yeah. But at that point, once again, time is
The
a
next
huge
group was
factor.
coming in.
They really need to work on timing with that. I think a lot.
This is my time to shine.
But I wish Allie okay before you get into your Kendall, she like ran the fuck out of the boat.
I was
Until
so
it's over. So
Should I have waited?
Yeah, me and Kiki are like okay, and we're shuffling down, and I had just got a chance to like I think ask James one thing. I don't even remember what I said to him, but like I had that.
You said something.
And me and you were talking to Kendall, and you were like, he asked if that was your sister, and you went, she really likes you.
Yeah, I said, he gave me a hug. He's like, is that your sister? And I was like, yeah, she's like low-key obsessed with you. And he was like, yeah, she did a good job of trying to hide it.
He emphasized trying so
We
hard.
were like laughing, and I was like giving him a hug. It was so funny.
Yeah.
All right, tell us how you. Also, me and James's picture looks like Barbie and Ken.
If she was in a dress, you would have thought they were at a movie premiere, not a meet and greet.
We were.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kidding. I'll crop myself in it. Like surprise.
Crop yourself into a wedding dress.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, that's
We did a beach wedding.
it was fine.
We cut costs in the budget, so we just use a big time rush banner.
Yeah.
fine.
You'll be so fine with that if they said we have to cut costs. We have to do like a big tongue
I'd
rush.
be like,
Okay.
All right, Kendall, how'd that go?
So
Time rush music makes me wet. There I said.
so I was with James, and then Kendall was at the end, and Frank goes, okay, go down to Kendall, and I was like, okay, because I hear Kiki say less, and I start laughing, and I was like, I mean, okay, like, I'm going to Kendall, and he was, like, thirsty. The man, like, needed a large drink, because he was so flirty, and, like, I feel like we were feeding energy back and forth, because I was like, this man, he was, like, he had just looked at me, like, you know those eyes, you know what I'm gonna be, but you know those eyes that, like, somebody gives you? He was looking at me like that, and I was like, okay, like, nice to meet you. And he started asking me, like, he was like, hi. I don't know if it stopped. I can't, now he's cracking me up. He was like, the first thing this man said to me, he said, because my shirt said Kendall's Worldwide Girl, and he goes, Kendall's Worldwide Girl, huh? And I was like,
She wasn't,
Uh-huh.
though. So, I mean,
I wasn't, but that's what he said, and I was like, uh-huh. And he's like, oh, so you're a Kendall girly? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, I can see why. It's like flirting.
they
back
were
and
flirting.
forth.
Me and James looked at them and started laughing.
It was bad.
And
It was
then
so
he was like, this man like wrapped his arm around me.
They took
Like
the picture
this.
like this.
And he grabbed a hold of me. And he
he
was
forgot
like,
to do his duck lips.
He went, oh, come here.
oh, sorry.
Are you doing Ducky or mine?
You're
She's
Kendall.
Okay.
Oh,
This was our picture. I should.
Oh, I could just put the picture in there. We don't
Yeah.
have to reenact
Think.
it.
No, the reenactment was needed.
You
for
think?
everybody
Yes,
else.
it was, because I'll tell you, he just like he held on to me, and here I'm thinking like everybody else is doing the same thing, and then we get the pictures, and I was like, was nobody else doing that? Like he literally grabbed a hold of me, and I was like, oh my god, this man is like fully wrapped around me, and I like put my hand on him, and we looked like a married couple, and I'm not sorry about it.
We disagree. We all had the photos. And I had like cropped it so we would each have one with just who we were with, and then the group. And for their photo, because they looked like a cringy high school prom picture, I drew a tux onto Kendall and a dress onto Allie, and was like, "Here you go."
But I will say, like, the way Kendall grabbed me, he moved me forward, so we look like super tall, and everybody else looks shorter.
You were like
But
5 feet in front of
You
everybody.
guys, because he didn't care. This man did not care. He was like, "I'm snatch you up real
Me
quick."
and James,
I'm like,
like,
say
dead ass,
less.
like, we've been dating for, like, 4 years, and we're just, like, at a premiere.
Yeah. No.
You guys looked like so photogenic, and me and Kendall are like probably.
You guys both had really good teeth that day.
But I will say, like, I don't know. I feel like me and Kendall, we just looked like we were.
Cringy high school.
It kind of fit our personalities, though. I feel like too.
That's not a bad thing. Me saying that, like that,
It's
not
cute,
a bad thing.
but
it
that's
was
cute.
cute. It was cringy,
But
and I
it's
feel like
like-
that's kind of like both of our
What are
personalities.
you doing?
Which is kind of why I feed into Logan a little bit too, because Kendall and Logan are both like kind of matchy with personalities, so I swing to both
One's
sides.
tall and small.
It's the bad boy. It's the bad boy look. It's
We are gonna disagree on this so hard because I don't see the bad boy look in him
In
that you
Logan?
see.
Kendall?
I don't either.
Okay, thank you.
What is
Alex-
wrong with you?
It's because he shaved his head, and I think that's, like...
I think he's cute regardless.
Settle
I don't
this
care.
debate. Does Kendall give off bad boy vibes? Because I don't get that vibe from him. I get teddy bear from him.
I get bad boy
he's
vibes
so-
from James, if you have watched...
James, that man is his freaking personality
He is
on Big Time Rush TV show.
toxic.
Absolutely.
And I love it.
Absolutely. He is. He has to be.
There's nothing
He
better than a
does.
toxic man.
I
Also-
feel like they kind of
Am I wrong?
switched people like for the show because I feel like
No, they said James is most like his fucking character. Cause he's
yeah,
so good.
James I feel like they hit like right on the head, but like
I feel like he kind of was like, I'm gonna be the looks man.
I mean, look at him.
Also, it's like, I just wanted to let you guys know if you see like two of us talking at each other or busting out laughing while the other one's talking,
Because we're assholes.
it's because our
can't help
ADHD
it.
kicks so hard in that moment, and it was like,
and then Big Time Rush was worth it. I don't know if I could have done the gold VIP. I feel like I'm gonna have to do a couple of like the silver stars before I work myself up to going in by myself because I was so nervous.
I would pay to see them go in by themselves. I'm just saying.
To watch.
Yeah.
So just can I just watch this and then I'll go after?
I just want to see them.
I liked I would have liked to have had more conversation with Carlos and Logan though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway from doing the meet and greets is timing. I don't think they fully have worked out yet.
I feel like you kind of have to be a little hard-headed with it and be like, no, like, I'm going to take my time.
I mean, be prepared. You're not going to get a whole lot of time with them, but it's a good startup before I think you go to the next level if you do a few of the silver star packages.
I have another one. Go ahead though.
Make sure... if you got it like that, I would go balls to the walls, go to the highest one, but if you haven't met someone famous before, or if you're nervous, start with the lower package because you're going to be so nervous you're not going to remember. Like, if you can, do like some lower packages first and then work your way up to like the individuals. And then if you want to go balls to the walls and do the VIP, do that.
You're just going to be so starstruck and you try to talk yourself up into it, but once you finally get in there, it's like kind of all around different. It's hard because you do try to like imagine how it's going to go in your head and you get there and it's not. Also, I do think that my takeaway is I feel like Frank needs to be outside in the lines because
He's fine.
That man is fine too. If he was out there, it'd be fine.
I had something to say, and then you guys said that, and my mind went poof. Patience for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be disappointed if you go in there and you don't say anything to any of them, and you just say hi, how was your day?
And that was our experience with our meet and greets of Big Time Rush, and we are out.